Today we are going to be talking about designing and building pergolas. We've just completed 2 pergolas for a client in the past couple weeks. I'm going to take you guys from the quoting all the way through to the construction of it. Yeah, let's get into it. So about 6 months ago, I had a lady hit me up saying that she liked the look of our work and she wanted us to build a couple of pergolas in her backyard. Now, the brief was for them to be light, they needed to be bright, airy. That helped me decide which materials were best to use for this project. Now, I was thinking design pine, which is a pre-primed, like premium timber product found here in Australia. Now, this timber and polycarb style pergola, I used to build these a long time ago, like with my old man, 15 years ago, and we don't really tend to build these that often anymore. Nowadays we're always building the insulated pergolas with the ColourBond steel on the top and the bottom. You can put downlights in them, ceiling fans. They definitely do cut the light that's coming through, and our client didn't want this, so the polycarb was the way to go with this. And I must say, as chippies, we loved building this type of pergola. Little bit more creative than the insulated ones, and a little bit more carpentry involved, so yeah, we're all about it. However, I didn't want this to look like a really old pergola. I knew this client's style and I knew what she was after, so that really guided me on how I wanted to design this pergola. I know that she was into a ton of detail on the rafters, skirtings around the posts so you didn't see any of the stirrups. It was going to be a polycarb roof attached to the house, timber framing. So we're looking at 3 posts. You got your rafters running down here. You got your battens here, which we fixed the polycarb roofing down to. Now for this first pergola, this is what is required. I was using 188x42 design pine. That was for all my rafters. I got a double beam in there, 188x42, 4 at 4.2 meters. 125 by 125 posts, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, the list goes on. For the labor, I had about 2.5 days on this project. Pergola 1 was attached to the house. We had a wall plate. In this wall plate, I wanted to have a fair bit of detail, figure out the spacings each rafter was going to be at. Then I wanted to check into the wall plate and actually slide the rafter in and have it sitting over. I've got some illustrations on SketchUp to sort of show you what I mean. The reasons we wanted to do this is to minimize the fixings on that wall plate. I didn't want to have a bunch of holes that we then had to go through and bog up, sand, paint. It's all just extra work, and this way it just looks a lot cleaner. I saw a carpenter on Instagram doing this. I'll link him below. He does some really quality work. He's another carpenter here in Sydney. As soon as I saw it online, I thought I need to try that one for myself. So yeah, props to him for coming up with that idea. Now, when designing these pergolas, I had to figure out spans. We built quite a lot of these, so I was fairly comfortable knowing these spans, but you can access span tables for your timber manufacturers online. Knowing what this client was like with the style that she had, I really wanted to use oversized timbers. So the beams that we had were oversized, the posts that we had were probably oversized. I was doubling the beams up just for a detail, not for any structural reason, just because it looked good. That was basically it. Did explain to the client that the cost is going to be a little bit more, but yeah, they were down for it. They were totally into this type of style, and this is just what it takes to achieve it. So yeah, they were good. Now, some of the timber sizes were hard to find. I'm sure you've all heard about this global timber shortage that we're facing. I wanted to order all my rafters at 4.2 meters, and there were just no 4.2 meter lengths in these 188 by 42s. So, you know, we just had to swap them out. We had to get something super long, which meant a lot of off cuts. But I mean, there's no way around it. It's just something that we had to deal with. And our local timber supplier, they gave us a really good discount, so our quote wasn't too far out from the original number that we had supplied the client. So all in all, it was a really good result. It measured 4.6 meters by 3.8. Here were the 5 existing Besser block columns that we rendered. Got your beams here, your rafters running down here, and your battens here that we would then fit the roof sheeting to. Once again, here is a list of all the timbers, but basically I've got my rafters, 5 of them at 4.2 meters. That's my meters in total. And for my labor, I've got a day to do the posts, beams, rafters and battens. I've got another day to sheet, flash and paint it. And I've got another day to render and finish it. We sourced the sandstone capping. I actually laid it with an external tile glue with a stack of flex to it. We rendered the columns with a product from Dulux called Acrotex Tuscany Coarse. That gave us that nice sandy rendered finish. We also got the paint color mixed in with the render, so we just cut down painting at the end of the job. Now, once we had the columns rendered and the sandstone capping on, we put up all the posts, the beams. Once again, we did the double beam just for the look. We had the pergola falling on a 5-degree angle back. Now, for the roof sheets that we were using, we needed there to be 5 degrees worth of fall from point A to point B. Now, to get 5 degrees fall, you need to have 87 millimeters of fall for every meter. So that means if the distance between post A and post B is 5.5 meters, then you need to do 5.5 times 87 is 478.5 millimeters. So that means if this dotted line is level, you need to subtract 478.5 millimeters off this post, and that will be 5 degrees worth of fall. The other thing that the client wanted from this area was a bench seat that was shaped in a U, so it would give really good seating wrapping all the way around. We basically fit some brackets to the block walls, and then from underneath we fastened the 90 by 45 down to these brackets. We used blocks of 90 by 45 as all the spaces. It was a really simple but effective bench seat. Now, when we were putting the posts on top of each column, we had a stirrup that was cam set down into the block work. All the blocks were filled with concrete. By doing this, we knew it was never going to go anywhere. The bottom of the 112mm post, you could see the stirrup, so we didn't want to do that, so we actually trimmed the bottom of the stirrup into the post, giving us a flush finish. And then we used some of the offcuts from the other rafters to create some skirtings on the bottom of the post. It's just another detail, and it lends itself to that Hampton style that the client really likes. So yeah, all in all, that is about it. That is the 2 pergolas that we built. The clients are happy, we're happy, we think it looks great. Love to hear your thoughts about this one. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts on this one. Do you guys dig it? You're not into it? Let us know. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.